to the COVID-19 pandemic, many people have lost their jobs and may be behind on their bills. Today, I want to share some tips to get collectors off your back and ways to handle being behind on your bills. And even if you are not behind on your bills, these are some relevant things to know. Hello and welcome back to Seb Talks Money. This is a place where we talk all things money and share tools and tips that lead to financial freedom. Okay, so I want to jump right on in. And one of the first things I want to say is don't allow the stress of being behind on your bills to push you into making decisions that does not serve you. I've been there when I was going through my divorce and the things that I had to go through. I made financial decision to buy a car that I really, in hindsight, should not have bought. Not that I couldn't afford it, but it stretched me financially because I wanted to make sure I jumped on it, buy that car as I was going through divorce because I knew my credit was getting ready to tank. And so I went and I bought a car that I shouldn't have bought, thinking about it now. Again, not because I couldn't afford it, but because it pushed my financial boundaries a lot. And so I had to make a lot more sacrifices to pay for this car. So again, don't allow stress and the things that are going on in your life to get you in a corner and push you to making decisions that really does not serve you overall. And one of the things we do, again, for those who cherish our credit scores, what we need to keep in mind is credit scores can be rebuilt, because I made that decision and then I ended up walking away from my house. My credit tanked into the 500s, but guess what? I'm back in the 700s. So credit scores can be rebuilt. So the first point I want to make is just don't allow stress and people pushing you and being embarrassed or any of that to make decisions that really overall does not serve you. So the first thing I want to share outside of that was just kind of a little pep talk. The first thing I want to share is that legally, unsecured creditors can only do one of four things. These are unsecured creditors. They can stop doing business with you. If you think about it, if you owe the dentist money and you can't pay it, they can just say, hey, don't come back to my practice. But you can find somebody else to do business with. If the credit card company, if you can't pay them, all they can do is say, I'm going to cancel your card, cancel your account. And the second thing they can do is report your delinquencies to the credit bureau. It's within their right to do that. But guess what? If you have not been paying, it's already reported as part of their regular monthly update, because every month at the end of the month, most creditors report to the credit bureau. And so if there's a missed payment, it's already there. So if they're threatened to report you to the credit bureau, hey, it's already done. The third thing that an unsecured creditor can do legally is to contact you to ask for payment. And they are obligated, and I'm going to share the law that controls collectors in a little bit. They have to contact you within a certain time period. And that's typically 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. in your time zone, not in theirs, in your time zone. And the fourth thing that a creditor can do is file a lawsuit to take you to court. Now, if you don't respond to court summons, and I always tell people, read those letters that come. Even if you are scared of what it says, read them. Report and respond to the court summons, because they can get a judgment against you and they may be able to garnish your wage. Now, there are some states where that do not allow creditors to garnish your wage. So check your state to see if that's one of the states that don't allow creditors to garnish your wage. But that is an option for many states. They can take you to court if you don't respond to the court summons, and they can get a judgment against you. So you want to show up, and you want to let the judge know the facts of the case. You don't want them to present their side, and they may distort it because you're not there. And then they get a judgment against you. And when you have a court judgment against you, it's very difficult to get rid of it. Even if they can't garnish your wage, now they have the legal authority to collect that money. So you don't want to get to that place. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to share some ways that you can stop debt collectors from contacting you. And there are websites that I'm going to be sharing also that will help you to manage debt collectors. All right, so the law that I wanted to share is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, which is the FDCPA. And collectors must stop contacting you if you request it in writing. If you request it in writing, they have to stop contacting you. And they have 5 days after they've contacted you, they have 5 days to send you written notice of what it is that they're trying to contact you about. And they must suspend collection efforts if after you've gotten the letter after 5 days and you send them a letter within 30 days. No, you send them a letter, they have 30 days to get back to you, and they must suspend collection efforts. If you dispute the debt, they must suspend collection efforts while they are getting back to you. So again, 5 days, they have 5 days to send you written notice after they've contacted you, and they must suspend collection if you dispute the debt. And they have 30 days to get back to you to say, the facts of the case. Now, here are the things that you can do to stop debt collectors from contacting you. One of the things you can do is you can verify their eligibility to collect the debt. I had someone contact me and he said I owed a debt of $200 and something. And well, he actually called and I saw it was a New York number. I'm like, I don't know anybody in New York. So eventually I called back and I asked what this was about. And he said it was some kind of medical debt. And I said, I don't owe any medical debt. So he asked for my email. And I said, I'm sorry. What you need to do is contact me, send me a letter, and you need to send it with the contact information that is on that record. He did send me a letter and it came to my home address. And I looked at it and I was like, I still don't owe this debt. I don't know what this is. So I wrote a letter from this website that I'm going to be sharing in a little bit. I wrote a letter and I asked him to verify the debt, that it was mine, give me proof with signature that I signed for this debt, give me proof that you are eligible to collect debt in the state of Georgia because you're in New York. And I also asked him what was his eligibility. No, I actually mentioned also that this debt seemed to be past the statute of limitation for medical debt in the state of Georgia. So me knowing the statute, me knowing that there are eligibility requirements around somebody who's out of state who can collect in my state, I was able to send him a letter with all of that. I'm still waiting, about 6 months later, still waiting for verification, because nothing more than he probably saw my name on a list of something and he just grabbed up the debt and decided he's going to contact me. Well, the thing is, if I don't owe it, I can't pay it and I'm not going to pay it. So the website you want to go to if you are wanting to check the eligibility of a collector is this website here, and it's nmlsconsumeraccess.org. N as in Nancy, M as in Mary, L as in Larry, S as in Severin, consumeraccess.org. You can go to this website and you can verify if that debt collector that is trying to contact you is indeed a valid debt collector. Because if you're like me, you've heard those emails or you've gotten those texts and those calls saying how you owe money and you're going to take you to court and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't owe anybody any money. I try not to owe anybody any money except my student loans. So when they send those things, you can always check this registry to make sure that they are registered to collect debt and they're registered to collect debt in your state. Now, the letters that I mentioned that you can get, you can go to this website, and it's NCLC, National Consumer Law Center.org. You can go here, /surviving debt. That's www.nclc.org/surviving debt. And you can get some sample letters. And I'm going to be talking about some of those letters in a little bit. Sample letters that you can use and you can tailor to your situation to get those debt collectors off your back. Because as I mentioned before, the FDCPA allows that if you tell a debt collector to stop contacting you, they have to do that. They have to legally stop contacting you if you told them that. The last website I want to show is the consumerfinance.gov/complaint. This website is where you can go and you can file a complaint against a collector. If you have a valid collector and they're harassing you, or you've told them to stop calling you, you sent them a letter to stop calling you, and they're still calling you, they're still contacting you, then you can complain at this website. So again, I want to share the three websites: the NMLS, consumeraccess.org. That's the one where you can verify the validity of or the eligibility of that collector to collect debt. And then the other one, the NCLC, National Consumer Law Center.org /surviving debt. That's where you're going to check for letters, for templates that you can use to tailor to contact debt collectors. And again, I'm going to be talking about the types of letters you can send. And then the last website is consumerfinance.gov/complaint. And this is where you complain about them if they are contacting you and you've asked them to stop contacting you and they still persist. Now, here's another thing. Get everything in writing and check your state statute of limitation. Do not ever take the word of a debt collector, or anybody for that matter, when it comes to legal matters. Get everything in writing and check your state statute of limitations, because some of the debt that they may be trying to collect is maybe out of statute. And if you don't know that, and let's say your debt, the statute of limitation for your debt is 4 years in your state. There are very few states, more of them is 5, 7 years. Let's say it's 4 years in your state. And day 4 year and 1, you decide to pay that debt. What you've done is you've started the clock over. You started the 4-year clock over. So get everything in writing. Check your state statute of limitation if the debt is even eligible to be collected for them to come after you. Because after the statute of limitation has expired, they cannot take you to court. They can try, but it's not going to be legally acceptable because it's past the statute of limitation for your state. All right, so some of the letters that you can use to stop debt collectors from contacting you, and let me take this banner off here, as again, the stop contact letter. And that's, again, in that website, you can use that as a sample. Stop contacting me. Or you can tell them, if you know it's your debt and you want to work with them, but you just say, only contact me during this time, or only contact me on this phone number, or something to that effect. You have the authority to tell them that. Do not contact me until, unless it's between 4 and 6 p.m. on Mondays. You have the authority to do that. And they have to abide by what you've requested. You can also ask them to verify the debt. Sometimes they may contact you and they say, oh, you owe a debt and you need to pay it. Well, you don't know anything about this debt. So you're going to send a letter of verification and you're going to ask them to verify the debt. And again, all of these, while all of this is going on, while you've sent the letter, they have to stop contacting you. Even if you have not expressly said, do not contact me, while they're researching, they have to stop contacting you. Another thing, if you only have exempt income, meaning your income is only from the government, from government sources, maybe, I don't know, I can't think of a government income, maybe Social Security or something like that. You can tell them, hey, my income is exempt, and that's the only income I have, so please do not contact me anymore because I cannot afford this debt. And they have to stop contacting you. They have to stop that, because by law, if all your income is only exempt income, they cannot contact you. The dispute letter, and the dispute letter is a little bit different from the verification letter. The verification is where they're contacting you and you don't know what this debt is. The dispute is you know what the debt is, but you're disputing it for some reason. Maybe the amount is wrong. Maybe it's not really yours, but you're aware of the debt. So you're disputing the debt for them to show the validity of that debt and that it belongs to you. Verification is you are wanting them to know, verify the debt is yours because you are not aware of that debt. So again, these are just some of the sample letters that you can send that's in that website. And when you send that letter, they have to stop contacting you. Now, we had talked a little bit about the four things that legally unsecured creditors can contact you about, or that they can do, is to stop doing business with you, report the delinquency to the credit bureau, contact you to ask for payment within a specific time, and file a lawsuit to take you to court. Now, if it's secured debt, then of course the creditor can contact you, can start proceedings to get their assets back, whether it's a car that you have defaulted on, or it's a home that you've defaulted on. If it's something that's secured, the debt is secured by an asset, then they of course can file necessary processes to get back their assets. So those are the things I wanted to share with you today about things that you can do to stop creditors, because it may be your debt, but maybe they have the wrong amount. Maybe it's have a statute, whatever it is. Knowing what the rules are and what the rules are that protect you, you are able to negotiate with a creditor. And if you negotiate with a creditor, again, get everything in writing, because there are some unscrupulous collectors. Even though they may be valid collectors, they may be unscrupulous in the way they manage their business. So you want to make sure you know what the laws are and what's on your side. All right, so let me see. Beverly Harper is saying hi, everyone. Sid from Miami, hello, everyone. And Nicola, Yard Style Cooking and More. Here's another, she's saying hi, host, and happy Easter, everyone. Here's another person, another YouTuber that you can go follow, Nicola, Yard Style Cooking and More. She shares a lot of Jamaican style meals, but she also shares other meals on her website, on her YouTube channel, sorry. So if you are into that sort of thing, you can go follow Nicola, and you will enjoy the recipes that she shares on your website. And I don't see any questions, so I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast, but I want to quickly run through again the websites, the NMLS consumeraccess.org. This is where you can verify a debt collector that this person is a valid debt collector, and they can collect in your state. The NCLC, National Consumer Law Center.org, surviving debt. Here you can get your sample letters. And for consumerfinance.gov, this is where you can complain about a debt collector that is not abiding by the law. And again, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FDCPA, is what governs collectors. And they must stop contacting you if you request it in writing. And they have 5 days to send you written notice after they first contacted you. And they must suspend collection efforts if you dispute the debt. So I hope this has been helpful. And I will see you on next Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where we will talk more about how to keep your coins in your pocket, and how to grow into financial freedom, the things that you can do to get into financial freedom. And please don't forget to like this video right now. You can like right now, comment on this video, to share with somebody else who you think this will benefit. And don't forget to also subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you as part of the Money Squad family. I would really love to have you as part of the family. So again, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time.